Hey there folks, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the newly announced SH Figuarts Spider-Man No Way Home figures. I am very excited for these guys. I'm very excited for what Marvel Legends has revealed, and I'm very excited to see what Hot Toys has revealed. And I'm also excited to see what Mafex has in store. That being said, let's take a look at these SH Figuarts and get right into it. So I'm going to take a look at these first set of images that they revealed the first day, and then the next day they said they released another set of images. I'm sorry for my creaky chair. It's annoying. I know. I apologize. This is the account that I'm using to look at these images here, so credit where credit is due. Right off the bat, Toby looks phenomenal. And there's only two things that I find inaccurate. Even so, doesn't really bother me. There's some things that don't really bother me all that much, but I still like to talk about them. So like I plan on doing a Tobey Maguire's classic red and blue suit evolution video. I want to talk about all four evolutions, or all four versions of his suit and how it evolved. I think that would be really cool. But you can see right off the bat here, the lenses and the frames of his eyes are black and white. That's not entirely accurate to Tobey's suit. Tobey, generally speaking, has silver lenses and gunmetal frames. Now that is slightly different through each movie. In Spider-Man 3, for example, the frames are a little bit less gunmetal and a little bit more silver. There's a slightly different, they're slightly brighter. In Spider-Man 1, they're more of a grayish. Everything is a little bit more of a grayish. Spider-Man 2, there's like purple airbrushing in the actual lenses. So there's subtle differences between all of them, and there's a specific shot from No Way Home that I can remember where his lenses and frames are black and white. So it's not a huge deal. I just would have preferred it to be gunmetal and silver. Not a big deal. Just, you know, it is what it is. And also his spider should be a gunmetal color opposed to a silver. Like I said, it doesn't really bother me because it still is painted really, really well, and SH Figuarts always knocks it out of the park with their paint in terms of the Spider-Man figures, from what I've noticed. So I'm excited to see what they got. I really, really love the blue shading on the black areas. It would be cool to see some muscle shading on the red areas, because Tobey's suit is the only one that has that, so that would be cool to see. Moving on to this next set of images. This specific image of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, it really doesn't look like that great of a figure. I don't know what the company is, but there's a company going around right now that's been, has been releasing some images of their Spider-Man No Way Home figures for Tom Holland, and they got like these weird shoulder pads and stuff. They're really bad looking figures in my opinion, and this reminds me of those figures. And that's really, really, really harsh to say, but with the next image that I have here of Andrew's, it looks like a completely different figure. It looks really, really good. So I think it's just down to the lighting or something. It's just really harsh, and definitely the posing. If there is one thing that I would change, I would try to get that head, those lenses just a little bit more accurate. And also I think that the overall texture of the figure is too strong. I think it's too harsh. Like, take a look at Tobey's suit here. You can see it's got that nice brick pattern there, both on the red and the blue sections, which is really cool to see. We don't often see that. It's usually just on the blue. But you can see how strong the texture is over here. I think that's part of it. And also I think that he doesn't have much of a masculine frame. So I think that's some of it. But in this other image, he looks pretty good, so I don't know. The one that completely blew me away is this figure right here. SH Figuarts just did their integrated suit for No Way Home, and this looks to be like a completely different sculpt from what I can tell. It looks like they've got this new system down here with the ankles. There's another section down there, so that's interesting. The overall colors look different. The texture looks like it's non-existent, but for Tom, I think that works well. I think he looks good with a smoother suit. But the blue areas, in my opinion, I think the integrated suit is a blue and red suit. I don't think it's black and blue or black and red, because there's sections on the suit that are actually black. So if you take a look at various screenshots of No Way Home, you can see the blue and then you can see the black, but then there is some scenes where it does look black, but then the actual black on the suit is still darker. So I do believe that the suit is supposed to be red and blue. So this still looks like it could be a bit of a blue, but I would like to see it a little bit more saturated like they had the first time around. Other than that, figure looks phenomenal. I'm glad to see them put so much effort into this guy this time around. You can see they got rid of the web shooters, something that Marvel Legends didn't care to do. The only thing they did was give us open hands and spider webs, which should have been on it on the original one. Here's a group shot, looking pretty good. I mean, the poses don't, but it's cool to see them all there. This next set of images here that they released the next day, the following day, Toby again looks phenomenal. Now here's the second thing that I was mentioning of his accuracy. It's these boots right here. Toby's boots actually are boxed off, so either side of his shoe points, kind of tapers upward, and then it cuts off the top. They're not round like Toby and Andrew's, or Tom and Andrew's suits. They're round for the actual boot area. Toby's isn't like that. His is boxed off, and it is accurate. That is what it's like in No Way Home if you take a look at the picture where they're all pointing at each other. Again, it's not something that actually bothers me, but it's just something I'd like to point out. Now, in this specific image, I think Andrew looks a million times better. I think he looks really, really good in this image. I still think the head and the eyes are just not so much the head shape, but the eye shape is slightly off. I think Hasbro nailed it with their most recent one, but this one's a little bit off. But even then, it's still a phenomenal figure. It still looks really, really good. I think that other set of those other poses just really didn't do it justice. Right here, it looks really good. Again, you can see these seams on the blue sections. Very, very nice to see that attention to detail. And he overall has a more metallic look because Andrew's TASM 2 suit has like this reflective quality to it, the fabric that they used. And also it looks very dark in some lighting and super bright in some lighting. It's a very strange suit to capture. It's definitely a beautiful suit. And then again here, one more shot at Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Again, I'm in love with this figure. I really, really do like it. Definitely not the one that I thought was going to stand out to me the most, but I think this looks sharp. It really, really does. And here's another group shot with the improved poses. Looking super saucy, if I do say so myself. That seems to be the last image that we can take a look at here. So if you guys enjoyed this, wait, let me turn this off so I know when to stop it. There we go. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, please hit the subscribe button, and please hit the notification bell. If there's anything that you feel like sharing, what are you most excited about in terms of the figures, how excited you are to see the movie come back in theaters, anything like that, please let me know down in the comments. I'm interested to hear it. But overall, I think we did a good job here, and we're going to take a look at the Marvel Legends ones next. So with that being said, I'll talk to you guys next time. Until then, I just messed up my outro. How many times am I gonna mess up an outro? Until next time, true believers.